Eat this each morning to stop leg muscle loss. Fast. Let me ask you something right away. Do you believe that one single food each morning could decide whether you're still walking strong at 70 or struggling with a cane in your early 60s? Some experts swear by it. Others say it's just hype. But after more than 3 decades of treating older adults here in the US, I can tell you, there's truth to this claim, and the science behind it is far more surprising than most people realize. Some of you may be nodding, thinking, yes, I've heard this before. Others might be skeptical. Come on, no single food can make that big of a difference. And that's exactly why you need to stay with me, because what I'm about to reveal is not only practical, it could change the way you feel every single day. Here's the reality. After the age of 60, muscle loss in the legs, something doctors call sarcopenia, accelerates quickly. It's one of the main reasons seniors lose balance, struggle with stairs, or feel weaker year after year. And the hidden trigger? Skipping the golden opportunity each morning. Your very first meal. In this video, I'll walk you through 5 powerful breakfast foods that can protect your strength, step by step, in a countdown from number 5 all the way to number 1. The ultimate food most people never even think of. I promise, the final one will surprise you. But before we dive in, do me a small favor. Hit the like button, share this video with someone you care about, and don't forget to subscribe. That simple click gives us the motivation to bring you more life-changing health tips every single week. All right, let's get started. Now let's kick off our list with number 5, and this one might shock you. For decades, people were told to fear eggs. Too much cholesterol, too much fat. Stay away, they said. But modern science has completely flipped that belief upside down. In fact, when it comes to protecting aging muscles, especially your legs, whole eggs are not the enemy. They're the spark plug. Here's why. Inside every egg is a powerful amino acid called leucine. Think of leucine as the switch that flips your muscles from breakdown mode to rebuild and repair. Without it, no matter how much protein you eat, your body never gets the clear signal to actually restore muscle. And as we age, this signal gets weaker. A phenomenon scientists call anabolic resistance. In plain English, it means your muscles stop responding as strongly to protein as they did when you were young. That's why seniors often lose strength, even if they're still eating meat, fish, or beans. But eggs, rich in leucine, turn the switch back on. Harvard researchers actually tested this. They found that older adults over 65 who ate eggs regularly at breakfast improved their walking speed and lower body strength after just 6 months. That's not some abstract lab result. It's real-world change. Imagine getting up from your chair with less effort, climbing stairs without holding onto the railing, or walking outside with more confidence. That's the power of this tiny morning habit. And here's another reason not to toss the yolk. Because the yolk is where the hidden treasures live. Vitamin B12 keeps your nerves firing correctly so messages from your brain reach your muscles without distortion. Choline improves coordination and reaction time, almost like sharpening the wires that connect your muscles to your mind. And then there's iron, helping deliver oxygen to your working muscles so they don't cramp, tire, or give out too quickly. I'll share a quick story. One of my patients, a 70-year-old retired engineer, came to me frustrated. He wasn't weak, but climbing stairs felt like dragging weights on his legs. We made one small change. He added just 1 boiled egg every morning. 3 months later, he told me, "Doctor, I can finally get up my front steps without pulling on the handrail. That's not magic, that's nutrition in action. So what's the best way to eat them?" Keep it simple. 1 to 2 whole eggs within an hour of waking is all it takes. Boiled, poached, or lightly scrambled with a touch of olive oil are ideal. What you don't want to do is fry them in butter or pair them with processed meats like bacon and sausage. That just cancels out the benefit with unnecessary saturated fats and sodium. So don't fear the egg. Embrace it. At number 5 on our list, whole eggs are more than breakfast. They're the switch that keeps your muscles rebuilding every single morning. If eggs are the switch that turns muscle repair on, then oatmeal with chia seeds is the steady power source that keeps that repair going all day long. Here's the thing. After age 60, your body isn't as good at managing blood sugar. A quick spike from white bread or sugary cereal feels good for 30 minutes, but then comes the crash. You're left drained, shaky, and more likely to reach for another unhealthy snack. That roller coaster of sugar and crash doesn't just make you tired, it also disrupts the way your muscles use protein to rebuild. This is where oatmeal shines. Oats are rich in a special soluble fiber called beta-glucan. Think of beta-glucan as a slow-release valve. Instead of dumping glucose into your bloodstream all at once, it releases it gradually, keeping your energy stable for 4 to 6 hours. Studies show older adults who eat oatmeal in the morning have fewer blood sugar swings and better stamina throughout the day. For your muscles, that means less inflammation and a smoother, more efficient repair process. But oatmeal alone isn't the full story. Add chia seeds, and now you've created a powerhouse combination. Chia is loaded with magnesium, which acts like a natural muscle relaxer, helping prevent those tight, stiff calves you sometimes wake up with. It also delivers plant-based omega-3 fatty acids, which calm chronic inflammation in joints and muscles. And remember, inflammation is like rust on your muscles. It slowly eats away at strength. By calming it down, chia helps your legs stay flexible and resilient. Here's a quick visual. When chia seeds soak in liquid, they expand and form a gel-like coating. That gel slows digestion even more, keeping you fuller longer and helping with hydration. Muscles that are hydrated and fueled steadily are far less likely to cramp or weaken during daily activity. Let me share a quick patient story. A 67-year-old woman I worked with complained of waking up nearly every morning with leg cramps. She thought it was just part of getting older. I suggested she start her day with half a cup of oats, a spoonful of chia seeds, and a few blueberries. Within 2 weeks, she reported fewer cramps and said, "Doctor, I finally feel like I have steady energy until lunch." Sometimes the simplest changes bring the biggest relief. The best part? It takes less than 5 minutes to prepare. Cook rolled oats or steel-cut oats. Skip the instant packets loaded with sugar. Stir in 1 tablespoon of chia seeds. Add a handful of blueberries for antioxidants, and you've got a muscle-friendly breakfast that tastes good and works even better. So ask yourself, have you ever had those frustrating morning cramps? If so, this little bowl might just be your savior. At number 4, oatmeal with chia seeds isn't flashy, but it's like a shield, quietly protecting your energy, your balance, and your muscle health every single morning. Coming in at number 3 is probably the cheapest food on our list, but don't let the price fool you. Its impact on your muscles is worth far more than most people realize. I'm talking about the banana, the natural electrolyte battery your body craves, especially after 60. Why do I call it a battery? Because bananas are packed with potassium, a mineral that keeps the electrical signals in your body firing properly. Every time you lift your leg, climb a step, or even wiggle your toes, tiny electrical impulses travel from your brain to your muscles. Without enough potassium, those signals get scrambled. That's when you feel cramps, twitches, or weakness in your legs. Just 1 banana gives you about 400 milligrams of potassium. That's roughly 10% of your daily needs. And since more than half of older adults fall short on potassium, this one simple fruit can close a major nutritional gap. But potassium isn't the only reason bananas make the list. They also provide vitamin B6, which helps your nervous system function smoothly. Imagine the wires in your house carrying electricity. If the insulation is damaged, sparks fly and the lights flicker. Vitamin B6 acts like insulation for your nerves, keeping communication between brain and muscles clear and strong. Bananas also contain prebiotic fiber that feeds healthy gut bacteria, which in turn improves mineral absorption, so the potassium and magnesium you eat actually get delivered to your muscles, where they're needed most. Now here's the catch. Eating a banana all by itself, especially on an empty stomach, can cause a quick spike in blood sugar, followed by a crash. That roller coaster isn't good for energy or muscle repair. The smarter approach is to pair banana slices with protein or fiber. Add half a banana to a bowl of oatmeal, or mix it into Greek yogurt. That way, the protein slows down sugar absorption, giving you steady fuel instead of a quick surge. If you're managing diabetes, choosing a smaller or slightly underripe banana works even better, since it contains more resistant starch and less sugar. Let me share a real story. A 65-year-old woman came to me complaining of severe nighttime leg cramps, so bad they woke her up almost every evening. She assumed it was just her age. I asked her to add half a banana to her breakfast each morning, paired with a little yogurt. 2 weeks later, she came back smiling. "Doctor, I'm finally sleeping through the night without cramps." Sometimes it really is that simple. Bananas are portable, affordable, and easy to digest. Toss one in your bag, slice it into your oatmeal, or blend half into a morning smoothie. Think of it as recharging your body's batteries before the day begins. At number 3, the banana might be humble, but when it comes to protecting your muscles and nerves, it's a powerhouse that keeps your system running smoothly. Number 2 on our list is a food that, surprisingly, many doctors don't even mention. Yet I've seen it transform the lives of countless patients. I'm talking about Greek yogurt. What makes Greek yogurt so special? Compared to regular yogurt, it contains nearly double the protein, and it's especially rich in 2 types that aging bodies desperately need: casein and leucine. Rich whey. Casein is what I like to call the slow drip protein. Instead of rushing into your bloodstream all at once, it releases amino acids gradually over several hours. That means when you eat Greek yogurt in the morning, your muscles are still being fed late into the morning, protecting them from further breakdown after the overnight fast. It's like giving your muscles a steady IV of building blocks. Leucine, on the other hand, acts as the trigger for muscle repair. You've already heard me mention leucine with eggs. It's the switch that tells your body, it's time to rebuild. By combining slow-release casein with leucine, Greek yogurt delivers both the signal and the steady supply of fuel your muscles need. That combination is why it's one of the most effective foods for preventing sarcopenia, or age-related muscle loss. But the benefits don't stop at muscle. Greek yogurt is also packed with calcium and often fortified with vitamin D, the dynamic duo for bone strength. Every single muscle contraction in your body, from lifting your leg to standing from a chair, requires calcium. Without enough, your contractions are weaker, and cramps are more likely. Vitamin D makes sure that calcium is absorbed and delivered where it's needed: your bones and muscles. Research shows that seniors who regularly consume adequate calcium and vitamin D have up to a 30% lower risk of falls. Think about that. One simple food lowering the chance of a broken hip or a hospital visit. Now let's talk about something people often overlook: gut health. Greek yogurt is loaded with probiotics, those friendly bacteria that keep your digestive system balanced. Why does that matter for muscles? Because even if you eat the right foods, you won't benefit unless your body absorbs the nutrients. A healthy gut ensures that minerals like magnesium and potassium actually make it into your bloodstream. Plus, probiotics reduce gut inflammation, which indirectly lowers whole-body inflammation, a major culprit in muscle and joint pain. I had a patient in her early 70s who constantly felt fatigued and weak despite eating what she thought was a healthy diet. We added 1 small cup, about 150 grams, of Greek yogurt to her breakfast, paired with fresh berries. Within weeks, she noticed less bloating, steadier energy, and more confidence walking around her neighborhood. Sometimes the key isn't more food, it's the right food. The best part? It's simple. 1 serving in the morning is enough. Pair it with blueberries for antioxidants, strawberries for vitamin C, or a sprinkle of nuts for healthy fats. If you're lactose intolerant, many lactose-free or sheep and goat milk versions are available, so you don't have to miss out. At number 2, Greek yogurt truly is a double shield, fortifying your muscles and protecting your bones at the same time. Quiet, powerful, and incredibly effective. Here we are at number 1, the food I usually only share with my closest patients. But today I'm sharing it with you. It may sound unusual for breakfast, but trust me, it's one of the smartest choices you can make. Steamed sweet potatoes topped with just a pinch of natural mineral salt. Why sweet potatoes? Unlike white bread or sugary cereal that give you a quick jolt and then leave you crashing, sweet potatoes release energy slowly and steadily. In fact, research comparing glycemic responses found that sweet potatoes can keep your blood sugar stable nearly 3 times longer than white bread. That means instead of feeling heavy and sluggish mid-morning, your muscles receive a steady stream of fuel that keeps you energized for hours. For older adults who often wake up feeling drained, this difference is life-changing. But energy is only half the story. Sweet potatoes are packed with potassium, magnesium, and vitamin C, all crucial for keeping your legs strong. Potassium keeps your muscles contracting and relaxing smoothly. Magnesium calms tight fibers and reduces cramps, while vitamin C supports collagen production, helping maintain the connective tissues that anchor your muscles to bone. It's a triple punch of protection every time you take a bite. Now, here's the secret twist. Natural mineral salts. I'm not talking about the plain white table salt stripped of nutrients. I mean unrefined salts like Himalayan pink or Celtic sea salt. These salts contain more than 80 trace minerals, tiny nutrients like zinc, manganese, and calcium that your body uses for nerve signaling, hydration, and muscle repair. Adding just a pinch can help restore the electrolytes you lose overnight through breathing and sweating. The result? Better circulation, less stiffness, and muscles that feel ready to move. I remember a 74-year-old gentleman who told me he always felt dizzy in the morning, like his legs couldn't quite wake up. We tried this simple routine: a small steamed sweet potato, a pinch of mineral salt, and a glass of water. Within weeks, his morning fatigue faded. He told me, "Doctor, it's like my body finally turns on in the morning instead of dragging behind." Sometimes the simplest foods make the biggest difference. The recipe couldn't be easier. Steam or bake 1 small sweet potato for about 15 minutes until tender. Slice it open, sprinkle a tiny pinch of mineral salt, just enough to enhance the natural sweetness, and enjoy it warm, ideally with a glass of water to rehydrate. No butter, no sugar, no marshmallows. Let the potato's natural flavor shine. For even greater impact, pair it with eggs or Greek yogurt for added protein, creating a complete, muscle-friendly breakfast. At number 1, steamed sweet potatoes with mineral salt might not sound fancy, but they're a powerhouse. Sustained energy, critical electrolytes, and hidden minerals working together to keep your muscles strong, your steps steady, and your mornings full of vitality. Before we dive into the conclusion, I want to share something I usually reserve only for my patients, because food alone, while powerful, is not the whole picture. Over the years, I've seen that what you do in the very first hour after waking can either make your muscles stronger or quietly push you toward weakness. And no, I'm not talking about complicated routines or expensive supplements. I'm talking about small, simple morning habits that act like hidden medicine for your body. Let's start with the most basic. Water. Every night you lose half a liter to a liter of fluid through breathing and sweating, so when you wake up, you are already dehydrated. For younger people, that's minor. But after 60, even mild dehydration makes your muscles stiff, your balance shaky, and your risk of cramping much higher. I had a 69-year-old patient who told me his legs felt like stone every morning. Instead of giving him pills, I asked him to drink a tall glass of warm water before his coffee. 1 week later, he said, "Doctor, My legs actually feel awake when I do. Something as simple as water can prime your muscles better than any energy drink. Now let's add movement. Think of your muscles and joints like cold rubber bands. If you stretch them too fast, they snap. But if you warm them up gently, they respond beautifully. 5 to 10 minutes is enough. Try standing up and sitting down from a chair 10 times, lifting your knees in place, or simply walking around your room. These small movements release special proteins called myokines, tiny messengers that travel from muscle to brain, heart, and immune system, telling your body, stay strong, keep repairing. I had a 72-year-old woman who swore she was too old for exercise. We started with just 5 chair stands each morning. 3 weeks later, she told me proudly, "Doctor, I don't need to push with my hands anymore." That's independence regained from just a few minutes of effort. But strength isn't built by the body alone. The mind plays a role too. Morning stress can flood your system with cortisol, a hormone that breaks down muscle. A 2-minute breathing practice can lower it dramatically. Inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 6, pause for 2. 5 cycles is all it takes. Some of my patients prefer writing down 3 things they're grateful for each morning. Research shows gratitude lowers inflammation and improves sleep, both critical for muscle preservation. One 68-year-old woman who switched her habit from watching the morning news to 2 minutes of breathing told me, "Doctor, my hands don't tremble as much, and I sleep better at night." Stress wasn't just in her mind, it was stealing her muscle. And of course, we can't forget protein timing. Most people eat very little in the morning, then overload at dinner. After 60, that pattern fails you. Muscles need a strong, early signal to rebuild. 25 to 30 grams of protein within the first 2 hours of waking. 2 eggs, a small bowl of Greek yogurt, and a sweet potato will do more for your strength than a steak late at night. A landmark study found that older adults who spread protein evenly across meals built 25% more muscle than those who saved it all for dinner. Timing matters as much as quantity. Finally, let's clear up common mistakes. Skipping breakfast doesn't help you lose weight. It accelerates muscle loss. Reaching for pastries or sugary cereal spikes blood sugar, then leaves you weaker. Relying on coffee alone provides no protein, no electrolytes, no fuel for repair. And the old fear of egg yolks? Outdated science. The yolk contains vitamin D, B12, and choline, the very nutrients your nerves and muscles crave. I'll end with a story. A 72-year-old retired teacher came to me using a walker, convinced her best years were gone. She skipped breakfast, drank coffee, and ate late dinners. We made tiny changes: water upon waking, 5 minutes of chair exercises, a protein-rich breakfast, and 2 minutes of breathing. 3 months later, she walked into my office without her walker and said, "Doctor, I feel like I got 10 years back." That's the power of mornings, quiet choices that build strength, balance, and confidence, one sunrise at a time. So here's the truth I want you to take with you. Every single morning is a crossroads. You can let your body drift into weakness, one small choice at a time, or you can send a powerful signal that says, "I choose strength." The strength of aging doesn't come from expensive pills or miracle cures. It comes from small, consistent choices you repeat each day. That's the real secret to walking steady, climbing stairs with confidence, and holding on to your independence. Now I'd love to hear from you. If today's video gave you even one new idea for your breakfast, tell me in the comments. Which food will you try first? Your story might inspire someone else who needs it. And if you found value here, please hit the like button and subscribe. That one simple action helps us bring these life-changing tips to even more people who need them. Stay tuned, because in my next video I'll reveal a common morning drink that almost everyone thinks is healthy. But it may actually be silently weakening your muscles. You won't want to miss it.